My friends, I have a confession to make. Today was the very first time I'd listened to Magdalena Bay. Yes, I know it's embarrassing, isn't it? Maybe I'm getting out of touch. But I was directed to Magdalena Bay by two viewers of this channel. So thank you, first of all, to Maximus Jet 5412, who requested I do a review of their song Image. Maximus Jet said, I was wondering if you could review Image by Magdalena Bay and why it's so catchy, but also so unnerving and spooky. It's been on replay for the last 2 weeks and I want to know why. Great question, and I listened to it and I agree it is unnerving and spooky, and I do have an answer, quite a specific answer for why that is. Also, someone else requested I review the whole album, Imaginal Disk, of which Image is one of the tracks. Maybe another time, but thank you to Jonas Fire Joe 4, who requested I look at the whole album. I may well in the future. Yes, I'm Greg Harradine, I'm a composer, and on this in this series, Good Art, Bad Art, I review all sorts of music and try to figure out, is it good or bad? So send in your suggestions. You can leave a comment, or even better, send me a video. There's information in the video description of how to do that. But on we go to Image by Magdalena Bay. Yes, it's been such a journey this morning listening to this track. I've listened to it many, many times. Just getting used to it and loving it, really. I think it's great, so I can't wait to get into more of their music. Written by Matt Lewin and Mika Tenenbaum, written and produced, and it's a really fascinating track. And why, as Maximus Jet asked, why is it catchy, but also unnerving and spooky? I think one of the reasons is they have got this wonderful synergy between the lyrical content and the musical content. A lot of thought's been put into that, no doubt. If I just spoke about the story of the track and indeed of the album, it would take all my 8 minutes here, because that's what I have, 8 minutes. So I can't do that. But basically, it's about this character, the song and the album is about this character, True, portrayed by Mika, who gets an implant, a disc, put inside her forehead, and she's trying to become her ideal self. Yeah, so this is what the track's about, trying to become her ideal self. What does that even mean anyway? Should we even do that? But musically, this song, Image, one of the reasons it's unnerving and spooky is, first of all the chords in the song are minor. Okay, that's quite unusual in itself. All the chords are minor, and they're not even sticking in the same key, right? We're kind of morphing up and down. Yeah, let me just talk you through a bit what happens. So we begin. The first thing we hear is this kind of E minor sound in apparently compound time. In groups of three, there's a kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 feel at the beginning, with this bass line hitting E minor sound. A few seconds there, then it sinks down to D minor, it sinks down a tone, and then it raises up to F minor. It's like, what's going on here? Yeah, there's some kind of metamorphosis happening. Yeah, True is changing, right? True, this character is trying to become her ideal self by having this implant. Yeah. So it's a very unnerving start. And then when the drums come in, turns out we're not in compound time, we're just in 4/4. Yeah, we don't have a feeling of threes moving along, we have a feeling of twos or fours. Yeah. But the bass line keeps generally moving in threes. So it's this shift, this phasing effect of kind of feeling of compound time against simple time, 3 against 4. Anyway, then the chords of the verse, yeah. Again, it's strange, right? F minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor. It's all minors, and it's just shifting around. And big point about the vocals, Mika's wonderful kind of ethereal vocals. This is a major point here about why it's so spooky and unnerving, unsettling. The vocals, practically always, she's either singing the 7th of the chord, she's singing above, right? The 7th note above the chord, or the 5th, or the root. Yeah? Okay? Sometimes the 6th or the 2nd, but something she practically always avoids is the 3rd. Now, why is that important? What am I even talking about? Well, a chord is generally made up of a root, a third, and a fifth, okay? And it's the third note that gives it its quality of being major or minor. Major chords are happy, minor chords are sad, very simplistically. But in a major chord, 1, 2, 3, that third note, la, is bright. Yeah, in a minor chord, 1, 2, 3, it's darker. And in this song, there are practically no thirds. We do not hear these notes at all. It's as if the music has no soul, or it's seeking its soul, hasn't found it yet, because there's practically no thirds anywhere. So I've been saying it's all minor chords. They're implied minor chords, and in the synths we hear that these chords are minor. But in the vocals, we do not. In the vocals, it's all fifths and roots and sevenths. This seventh note is a slightly unsettling note as well. It provides the conflict with the root. So very clever writing. Yeah, it's all to say very clever writing. Keeps us thinking, oh, it's not clear, is it? It's not clear whether this thing that's happening, this disc that's being inserted into this character True, is it a positive thing? It doesn't sound like it's a happy thing. Is it a really negative thing? It doesn't sound super negative either. So, yes, and there's lots of, maybe think of lots of literary works actually. So the line, "There's no heaviness just over the precipice," got me thinking about heaviness and lightness, the unbearable lightness of being by Milan Kundera. You know, how do we cope with the fact that every moment in our lives are fleeting and we're trying to hold on to them and we can't? It's unbearable, isn't it? Another line, "Through a two-way mirror." You know, a two-way mirror, one side's light, one side's dark. The light side looks like a mirror, but if you're on the dark side, you can see through. Yeah? Looking through a two-way mirror from light to dark or from dark to light. Through a two-way mirror, like through the looking glass. Lewis Carroll's sequel to Alice in Wonderland. Through the looking glass into a world where everything's backward. Yeah? Isn't that kind of what's happening here? You know, True is trying to generate a brand new image of herself. Is it all going to be a bit backward and wrong? You know, later in the album, I'm sure we find out, but I have not listened fully to the whole album. Anyway, there's so much more I could say, but I'm running out of time massively. I hope I've said enough there. It's a great track, really fantastic. I give it a score of 84 out of 100. I'm going to listen to more Magdalena Bay, no doubt. Send me some more suggestions, please. Thanks again to Maximus Jet for suggesting this track. I'm going to go listen to it again. I loved it so much. Goodbye.